And the world has learned that what makes for the good society also now makes for the good economy too. My father was a minister of the church, and I've learned again what I was taught by him, that wealth should help more than the wealthy, that good fortune should serve more than the fortunate, and that riches must enrich not just some of our communities, but all of our communities. And these enduring values are, in my view, the values we need for these new times. We tend to think of the sweep of history as stretching across many months and years before culminating in decisive moments that we call history. But sometimes the reality is that defining moments of history come suddenly and without warning, and the task of leadership then is to define them, to shape them, and to move forward into the new world they demand. An economic hurricane has swept the world, creating a crisis of credit and a crisis of confidence. History has brought us now to a point where change is essential, and we are summoned not just to manage our times, but to transform them. And our task is to rebuild prosperity and security in a wholly different economic world, where competition is no longer just local, but it's global, and where banks are no longer national, but they're international. And we need to understand, therefore, what went wrong in this crisis, that the very financial instruments that were designed to diversify risk across the banking system instead spread contagion right across the globe. And today's financial institutions, they're so interwoven that a bad bank anywhere is a threat to good banks everywhere. But should we succumb to a race to the bottom and to a protectionism that history tells us that in the end protects no one? No, we should have the confidence, America and Britain most of all, that we can seize the global opportunities ahead and make the future work for us. And why? Because while today people are anxious and feel insecure, over the next 2 decades, literally billions of people in other continents will move from being simply producers of their goods to being consumers of our goods. And in this way, the world economy will double in size. Twice as many opportunities for business, twice as much prosperity, the biggest expansion of middle-class incomes and jobs the world has seen. So we win our future not by retreating from the world, but by engaging with it. And America and Britain will succeed and lead if we tap into the talents of our people, unleash the genius of our scientists, set free the drive of our entrepreneurs. We will win the race to the top if we can develop the new high-value-added products and services and the new green goods that the rising number of hard-working families across our globe will want to buy. So in these unprecedented times, we must educate our way out of the downturn. We must invest and invent our way out of the downturn. We must retool and reskill our way out of the downturn. And this is not blind optimism or synthetic confidence to console people. It's the practical affirmation for our times of a faith in a better future. Every time we rebuild a school, we demonstrate our faith in the future. Every time we send more people to university, every time we invest more in our new digital infrastructure, every time we increase support for our scientists, we demonstrate our faith in the future. And so I say to this Congress and this country, something that runs deep in your character and is woven in your history. We conquer our fear of the future through our faith in the future. And it is this faith in the future that means we must commit to protecting the planet for generations that will come long after us. The Greek proverb, what does it say? Why does anybody plant the seeds of a tree whose shade they will never see? The answer is because they look to the future. And I believe you, the nation, that had the vision to put a man on the moon are also the nation with the vision to protect and preserve our planet Earth. And you know it's only by investing in environmental technology that we can end the dictatorship of oil. And it's only by tackling climate change that we can create the millions of new green jobs that we need and can have. For the lesson of this crisis is that we cannot just wait for tomorrow. We cannot just think of tomorrow today. We cannot merely plan for tomorrow today. Our task must be to build tomorrow today. And America knows from its history that its reach goes far beyond its geography. For a century, you have carried upon your shoulders the greatest of responsibilities to work with and for the rest of the world. And let me tell you that now more than ever, the rest of the world wants to work with America. If these times have shown us anything, it's that the major challenges we face are global. No matter where it starts, an economic crisis does not stop at the water's edge. It ripples across the world. Climate change does not honour passport control. Terrorism has no respect for borders. Modern communication instantly spans every continent. The new frontier is that there is no frontier, and the new shared truth is that global problems now need global solutions. And let me say to you directly, you now have the most pro-American European leadership in living memory. It's a leadership that wants to cooperate more closely together in order to cooperate more closely with you. There is no old Europe, no new Europe. There is only your friend Europe. So once again I say, we should seize this moment, because never before have I seen a world willing to come together so much. Never before has that been more needed, and never before have the benefits of cooperation been so far-reaching. So when people here and in other countries ask, what more can we do to bring an end to this downturn? Let me say this, we can achieve more by working together. And just think of what we can do if we combine not just in a partnership for security, but in a new partnership for prosperity. On jobs, you, the American people, through your stimulus proposals, could create or save at least 3 million jobs. We in Britain are acting with similar determination, but how much nearer an end to this downturn would we all be if the whole of the world resolved to do the same? And you are also restructuring your banks. So are we. But how much safer would everybody's savings be if the whole world finally came together to outlaw shadow banking systems and outlaw offshore tax havens?